Hello everybody, welcome. Today is our Friday Friends event with Take 5, and today we're having a special day. It's a potluck anniversary. We're having potluck. In other words, all the people are bringing their crafty skills to the table. If you are not seeing the little red live button above me on Facebook, then you're probably watching a replay. And then I'm also streaming to YouTube as well. So I can see all the questions. If anybody has any questions or, any comments, be sure to pop in so we know that you're here. And let me see here. I have done something goofy here, which is such a surprise, right? You know what? And let me close the door here. I forgot to close my door. So we'll just get that closed so that we don't have anything too much disturbing. Oh, now I sat on the clothes. Good morning, Estella. How are you? So let me see. I think somebody. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mary. I was just wondering if I needed to do that myself, and so I so appreciate that. Thank you very much. We are going to make some cards today. They are going to be fast and easy, although, I'm probably going to spread mine out throughout the hour so that we can, be able to take the time allotted, right? But, these are going to be easy, and we're going to make our paper work for us. So, they make beautiful papers, right? Hi, Tanya. Hi, Wendy. And, it's just so fun to let those papers do some of the heavy lifting for the things that we want to make. And by the way, Tanya from Timeless Treasures is going to be after me. But this is so fun. It's a 1-year anniversary from Take 5. And it was a group started by 5 women. Right now there's 4 of them. But, they do such a wonderful job in Take 5. And I hope that you have joined that group and are, coming over to see what it is. And they truly are, I love being in groups where we know that the people truly are caring. And they went ahead and started some other groups too to help people, kind of promote their own businesses and to, expand where they were in their online presence and to make their business grow. And so there's a couple of other things going on. And if you're interested in joining Take 5 in those ways, reach out to some of those ladies. So there's Melanie with the Painted Peach, Melanie with Painting Crafty, Mary is the Painted Peach, Jeannie is Jeannie's Palette, and Christy, the other Christy, is with Funky Junk Inspiration. So some wonderful people there, you guys. Hi, Sue. Oh, thank you. And yes, quite festive, right? We're having a party. It's our 1-year anniversary party. So here I am. I'm ready to party. So, thanks, Mary. I love being here. So you guys, let's go ahead. Without further ado, let me turn you down to my workspace here. And hopefully everything is right. For some reason, I feel kind of discombobulated this morning. I'm not sure why that is, but some days just feel like that, right? And now I think my coffee is off somewhere in another room, and I'm sort of wishing it was here right next to me. Do you guys ever have moments like that? Oh, now what happened to myself? Hang on one second. What have I done? I did something really goofy. There we go. I don't know what I did. Something not like I planned. But look, you guys, this is such a fun paper pad, and I've had it for a while. And you guys, I know I'm always showing you things from my stash, but the point of doing that is to let you know that you don't always have to have the latest greatest. If you've got some things that are on hand, by all means use them, you guys. Pull them out and use them. And I hope that I give you ideas to go ahead and be able to do that so that you can pull things out from your stash and be able to use those. So today we're going to let our paper do some of the heavy lifting. And we're going to take a couple of sheets, and I'll just kind of go through this real quick, and we'll pick a couple of sheets. These are double-sided pages. A lot of times you can get paper packs that are not double-sided papers. And, you know, you can do tons with those, but I think it's really nice when you have something like this, and especially for our idea that we're going to use today. And then a lot of times people, they'll look at these kinds of pages and it's like, what in the world am I going to do with a page that is that size? You know, I don't know what to do. Unless it's going to be a giant scrapbook page, I have no clue. So let's take a couple of these pages today, and I don't know, this is kind of a pretty one. I don't know, you know, there's so many pretty ones, it's just hard to choose, you guys. It's just hard. But you know what? It's so hard to choose. Isn't that crazy? And look, this has lots of goodies. It even has some 6x6s back in here. It's got a bunch of cut aparts. It's got quite a few. It's got things that you could cut apart as borders, and so all of it coordinates. This is a cute little thing. And this is from Crafter's Companion, and a lot of these pages that they do like this, when they are big like this, if you'll notice, they actually are kind of designed to where you could even cut them into other 6x6 pages and be able to use them like that. I know, Mary, aren't they? Hey, Sparky Chris, how are you doing? Donna, good morning. And so we're just going to use some of these. Some of them are more of an all-over pattern. They're not, you know, specifically a giant, you know, picture like this. But they certainly have done a good job with making them to where it's such a variety. Look at this. Here's the Santa, this winter scene. That's a lot of fun. Let's just take, this would be kind of pretty too. I mean, it doesn't matter. With what I'm going to show you, you can take any one of these. Let's go ahead and let's use this one. It's got kind of a, I want to kind of look at what they've got on the back too. What's this one on the front? Okay, see how this one has just got such a variety. You know, I'm just going to take, well, I don't want that red on the back actually, because I got a couple of pages of red to use. Let's take this one. So we've got that one. And I'm going to take another one. I just want to take something. I feel like I want to take something random, and look at me. I'm not really doing something random, am I? It's just so hard to choose. Let's see. Let's do this one too. Well, I didn't want that red on the back. I don't know, you guys. I almost wish somebody could do it for me. Do you ever just feel like that when you're crafting? You're just wishing somebody else could do it. You know what? Let's just go ahead and use this one. Oh, look, that's pretty. Look how pretty that is. That's not going to go very well with my color that I've gotten for like my borders. Okay, there we go. We've got a couple selected. I'm sorry I took so long with that. Let me grab my paper cutter. I'm about to have an avalanche. I sat it up on top of my trash can. Okay, so now then, what I am going to do is, it's not going to really matter where we cut these, but I do have, I've got some cards. I tell you, if you get like some card bases that are already done, you know, it makes it so easy. You're not having to cut everything already apart. So you can get them and like this. Oh, and there goes my lighting again. Oh, there, you can see it now. See, they're already scored so that you don't even have to worry about that. So you've got all your backings already done. I've got these, and I've got some off-white. And so, let's see. It might even, I'm not sure what kind of a difference. I looked at, you know, when you look at the paper pad, like the front, it looks like some of them might even look better on a cream background. There it goes. There the avalanche starts. So I've got both of these. And let me pull this back up here. See, when you look at this, you can see that some of these might look better with a cream color, you know, background than that. But we want to make it simple so that we're not having to do something to mat the background. I don't want to do that, but I want to cut these, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and I'm going to turn them, and I do want to make sure that they are, that I'm cutting, for this pattern especially, I want to cut them into vertical strips, okay? And so to get as many as I can across here, this is a 12 by 12 paper, so I'm just going to cut these at 4 inches, just straight down. And I'm going to get 3 of these, 3 strips. Okay, so we'll just do, whoops, 3 strips. I'm going to cut my other one down. And again, because it does have, you know, an orientation like this, I do want to make sure that my strips are going vertically like this. So we're just going to get those cut down. And then as I'm putting them on my papers, then I can decide which of those card bases, you know, looks best. Okay, so now then, to be able to use the card bases and use the little, use them as they are. You guys, I'm looking for my ruler. Oh my goodness. There is such a mess. It's scary to look. Yes, Jeannie, decisions. So what I'm going to do is I'll just show you on here. Let's just use the, I think you can see the numbers up here. So the card bases, like if you're going this way, which we're going to do vertical. So this way, these are 4 1/4. So we've already cut our things at 4 inches. So that's a 1/4 inch off of that. And that will allow us to have our 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And then this direction, they are 5 1/2. So we want to cut our cards at 5 1/4. Okay. So we're going to cut these at 5 1/4. And so I might turn them this way just to see if there's something, you know, that I want to make sure that I get. And there's a couple of ways to do this. Either you can cut, you know, your amount like from top to the middle, and then, you know, do the next one. So let's see where that would be. Let's pull this out here and see where that would put us for doing those cuts. So the first one at 5 1/4. Yikes, what have I done here? It got in there. That's not supposed to go in there. So at 5 1/4, this one is going to end up like that, and that would be okay. We just got a tippy tip of the Christmas tree star, and that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And then on this one, if we started from the bottom to the top at 5 1/4, we pretty much get the little girl and a bunch of the stockings. So I think that would be good. And then we would have a little bit in through here that would have some poinsettias and some Christmas trees. So I think that on this one, I'm going to do that. And, you know, depending on, I'm going to leave the middle here, okay? And so I'm just going to flip this. So 5 1/4, okay? So now then, I've got this pretty little strip, and, you know, and remember, we have both sides of this that we could use. And maybe one of these other ones, when we get to it, it doesn't really, you know, fit exactly what we, you know, want it to look like. And on here, you know, let's see. I think again, let's see, if we do 5 1/4, we're just going to barely get our little stocking. So I think again, I want to cut from the bottom that direction. And now this one, I think it would be nice to have a little bit of that border. So again, look, we're cutting from the, you know, both edges and then leaving these centers out. Now that's not always going to be the way, but remember, I showed you how they design their paper, and it's kind of all around the edge. So perhaps, you know, with this bunch of paper, that's going to be pretty much the norm, is that the centers of your strips are going to be what you know, leave, if that makes sense. Did that make sense? Hello, Susan. How are you? Thank you. Thanks. I tell you, I've been looking back at some of the... Did I cut that right? Yes. Oh my goodness. Hi, Sheila. How are you doing? Okay, now this one, I'm kind of wondering about my bird on here. So if we do 5 1/4, well, actually, it does get the whole bird. I'm surprised. Well, then I'm going to do that. But you know what I was thinking of was that I might have to cut, you know, my 5 1/4 this way and then leave this part, you know, cut a top off. But he works out just fine to do the 5 1/4 right here. You guys, sometimes I think you are the most patient viewers watching me cut and glue paper. It is what it is. Now look, this one, this isn't going to be anything too spectacular, but you know, they don't all have to be. But it does have, and these have some foil. Look at this. Look at the foiling on some of these. I think that's pretty. But this will give us, you know, some other little pieces to use that are going to be the same width as the paper parts on the card. So we've got those. And then our last one here. And I think because that's got one of those foil decorations up there, I'm going to do the same thing. Now this one, now I do like the bottom. Yeah, you guys, I think this is really gonna be kind of a common thing, is to cut from both, you know, the top and the bottom edges to, you know, give you those cards. And then, was that all of them? Nope. Did we do both papers? Oh my goodness, you guys. Did we? Oh yeah, because one of them has this for the background and one has the music notes. Well, okay, that didn't take as long as I thought. Phew! Okay. So now, when we start putting these on here, now this one has got just a little white edge. And I don't know which one of these that I want to use. And always when I fold these and I, either if I have scored them myself or, you know, there's some of these cards, I look to see if there's a little bit of an edge of an overhang on each way, on one direction. This one, the back is sticking out a tiny bit, so I'm going to flip that over and make that the front. This one is okay. And you might just want to do that and make sure that, you know, you have those. Now, which do you think? Which do you think, you guys? On this one, should I use the white or the cream background? What do you think? I'm ready for my audience input now. What do you think, guys? I like them both, but what do you think? Cream or white? Do 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 do. Yeah, I think so too, Susan. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. Let's put this one on this cream color. And so all we're going to do is just stick them on here. Make sure I got my most recent glue out here. My other one needs some refill. I lost my glue, my little bottle, and then one night I got out to do something, and I have like this little thing that I have my Nouveau Dream Drops in, and I'm like, well, that's a funny little bottle. What color is that? And I looked, and it was my glue sticking in there. I had put it away with the Nouveau Drops. I'm just like, okay, that's kind of silly. I don't know. I kind of think that cream is going to be best. Now, let's see. These that have this other background that were from this other page, I don't know. I might like... I don't know. I think those probably are going to look better on the white. That one's not cut right. I miscut that one. Imagine that. I cut it at 5 1/2. I think the rest of them are okay. But what do you think about these that have this other background? You think we should do white or cream with those? Because remember, we're just making this easy. Which do you think on this set? The white or the cream on these? Hey Molly, how are you doing? Let's take a peek and see what we think of that set. It's just going to be kind of an overall. And remember though, I mean, they all came from the same paper pad and they're all going to work together in the end. But what do you think? Cream or white on this one? Cream on that one too? Sue says she kind of likes the white. I think if you wanted to make a cohesive set, I almost think that they would need to have the same background. But I do like the white because I think on these, there's some of them that have more of that white, and that really makes it pop with the white. For sure, that one would look great on white. I don't know, you guys. I think I'm going to do white on these. Just on these. Okay. Let's continue on. My time is going to be up in no time. And, and I will be sitting here thinking, how am I going to make this last for an hour? But you guys, and I have several people who have subscribed to my Telegram channel. And if you want to do that, I've got a link in Facebook. It's one of the featured links, so it's pinned. So you can find that real easy there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out some more card bases real quick and get these glued down. So it just doesn't take any time at all. And look how much of a design that we've got going on there without doing anything except cutting paper and cutting it to where we've got a little bit of a border on our card base. I mean, that's pretty nifty, right? Pretty nifty. Just get it on there. And then like when I put them on here and I'm using my wet glue, I just kind of get close to that corner. Here, let me zoom in a little bit and I'll show you. In case you kind of struggle with this, let me show you what I think is an easy way to get those glued on. And again, I'm checking to make sure, and again, it's got, just a little bit of that other side. And this one, now I'm looking to see, I guess that does have a top and bottom. Okay, so once I get my glue on the back here, and if there were any of these that just didn't cut to where I liked them at all, you could always just use this back side of the paper because, it's still pretty too. Okay, so I just kind of take it, and as I'm moving it into the corner, I know where that 1/8 of an inch is, and then I can just kind of line that up and then just put it down. So I kind of slide mine into place. Hi, Anne. Welcome, Linda. Your first time watching. Well, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. I love making new crafty friends always. Hope you will come back to visit. Now this one, okay, now, yeah, and I can see the music notes on here, which way they're going, so I want to make sure that I get that going the right direction. And just another quick bit of glue on here. But after we do this, and now this is kind of a bonus because this paper pad had these gold foiled accents, right? So that was kind of a bonus. I didn't even have to try to do too much with that. Okay, now this piece, Every one of those is like that. Now this piece, you know, it's not got anything super special. I could do that. I do like how much of the plaid that it's got showing, but in case I wanted to just have something different and, you know, make the card a little bit different, let's go ahead and flip one around this other way. And I'll show you when we are done how they all just kind of come together. And it's going to look like we spent quite a bit of time selecting papers that we're going to match and making a great little greeting card set. And you can do this with, you know, whether it's these Christmas papers or whether it is, you know, something different. You want to make cards for some other time. Hi, Katana. And maybe we want to, you know, have a couple of those, although I do like the plaid. And I do like this kind of splotchy, distressed, messy look too. A lot of people don't like that. I don't mind it so much. And if you really wanted to spend some extra time, you could go around, you could ink your edges. I know a lot of you like to do inking, which that would really be pretty. And I honestly really think that it adds something and gives it a little bit more of a finished look. But for the sake of our time today, I'm just gonna go ahead and use them like this. Just our plain paper. Hi Terry, how are you doing? Welcome. Now on this one, look, on this one I can actually see which is the top and bottom because it's got the music notes. So, so I can actually tell which way. And I do like that it's got that little bit of gold foiling already on there for us. Bonus. Oh, you guys have anything planned for this weekend? What do you got going on? How many of you, and besides telling me if you've got anything fun going on, I would like to know, oh man, I did not flip this one over and this has that tiny bit of card, but nobody's gonna notice. Oh, thank you, Margaret. So you guys, how many of you send Christmas cards, physical Christmas cards? I'm kind of curious. And I am gonna do white on these other ones. So we'll kind of play like this is one set, and then we'll make these. Reach around here and get some card bases. Yeah, tell me if you send Christmas cards. You know, I have sent cards for the longest time, and I'm going to be real honest. Last year I did not. We had a lot of stuff going on last year, and I just didn't do it. So we should have 6. Where's the other one of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's the other one? Did it get glued onto here? Yeah, here she is. Oh, we put her on cream color. Oh, well. No, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yes, she went to this set. But I still think she looked better on that cream color. Well, we'll leave her there. We'll leave her with the cream colored ones. Okay, so Sue says she only sends a few. Donna sends to a few. Linda says she sends a photo family card. That's nice. You know, there's so many ways to acknowledge people. And I have a friend who, she takes all of her cards every year and she binds them together. I don't know if any of you know what a cinch binding machine is, but it's kind of, it's got kind of those, not really spirals. I don't even know how you would tell that. You know, a lot of times if you have a booklet or something that's a workbook or something and it's bound together, not spirals, but the other little kind of binding that they do, and it's like got a little plastic edge to it. That a cinch machine will do that. And she takes one of those and she binds all of her Christmas cards each year together like that. And it's just such a fun thing to see, like all of the cards together. And so many of them are cards that people have sent pictures of their families. And it's fun because then she's got it saved year by year, and she'll, take some of those out and look at them periodically. And it's fun to see how, especially families with kids, how much the kids have grown year to year. It's kind of fun. So just slide that in there. But you guys, this is such an easy way. And if you really are kind of new to card making, or if you don't have a lot of time to devote to it, you could easily do some of these one afternoon. Trying to see which way that was on the bottom. I don't know. Now that one I would not want to put on white. I would want that on that cream color. So I guess I'll just go ahead and use this side again. But that is a lovely print. All those little pine needles and those little pine cones. So pretty. So we're almost done cutting and gluing, you guys. Thank you for being patient. Okay. And then just this one. It is cute. And you know what? Even if you've got some of them that are on white and some of them that are on cream, you could gift, this would also make a great gift to somebody. Like a whole package of the cards. And as soon as I got this one glued on, I'm going to show you all together how pretty they look. And because we've used the same card pack, we're going to spread these all out here. And see, I've still got these little goodies that we could use if we wanted to in some way on the cards. So now we've just got all these different cards that we have made, and they're a variety. And I mean, look, it looks like we spent a lot of time putting these together. And even if we added these into the mix, look how nice they still, coordinate all together, right? Let's see. Linda says she has lots of card supplies, so she really should make some. Oh, you're stenciling right now. Yeah, that's fun. I haven't stenciled in a while. You guys, one time I went around my whole, our kitchen and family room were together, and I went around and I did a stencil pattern of grape clusters and grape leaves all around the top of the kitchen and the family room. No, did I do around the family room? No, I think I stopped. There was a door I think I stopped at, but I don't know. That's been a few years ago, and I don't remember. And then I remember we painted. I think I did, because then when we painted over some of it, we painted over that and then left it in the kitchen and just let it start at one wall. But that was fun. I did, it was fun. And I took the same stencil that I had done around the border, and I put it on some tea towels. I just used, and I'm not sure that I didn't just use regular acrylic paint. And I, when it was dry, I pressed it in, and those tea towels lasted, well, I think I still have some, and the ink or the acrylic paint is still like, it's faded, but you can still see it on there. Isn't that crazy? And Anne says, I always send Christmas cards, but last year there were quite a number of postal strikes. So she only sent cards to Canada early, and the people who lived near her home dropped their cards through the letterbox. Oh, yeah. About 20 didn't get any. Oh, my goodness. Well, that stuff happens, right? And we just don't have any control of that. None whatsoever. So, there we go. Yeah, we're always glad that we don't have any postal strikes over here during holidays. And they always warn us, how early. They give us the timeline, mail by now to make sure that you get it. Okay, so now I've got this paper. Let's see, was this the color I decided on? Yes, I had a different one. It was so funny because as I got it out, I'm like, that doesn't really look the best. And so I went back over to the paper, and I'm like, oh, here's a different red, and I put it, but I didn't do it at the same time. So I bring my red over, one piece at a time, and I'm trying to match it up. But let me show you the other one I had pulled out, and you can see I first had this one, and I've got it up against the paper pad, and I'm like, well, it's okay, but I'm not thinking that's the best. And then I'm like, well, maybe that isn't even, maybe there's a different red, hopefully. So thankfully I had a different red. I missed the goose stencil face. I did miss the goose stencil face. And I had a whole set of those false craft dishes that had the grapes on them. So they matched my dishes. I made my kitchen match my dishes. How many people do that? Silly. Okay, so now we are going to do some greetings. And these are kind of fun. This went to a different set. And, but I love it. I always love these scripty, long, they've got a long flourish thing out here on each edge, the leading edge, and then as it leaves off of the word. And I don't know, there's something about those I always really love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice a piece of paper down to the width that we've got, which is that 4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and slice that. So I know I don't want this to be any wider than that part of my card, right? I just want it to be that. Okay, now I've got to figure out on here. Let's see. Let me think of a good way to do this. I'm going to use this tool. This is something this is old. I didn't see my Misty laying here handy. So this is an old one, and I think this is the old Stampin' Up one. You can't get this one anymore. The Misty was the original one, and I tell you what, they pretty much really tried to enforce their, I think their patent on that product, and there have been lots of companies that came out with something similar, and they had to stop making them because of that. So, I think everybody thought they had something that was a little bit different enough that they could get by with it. And the Misty people didn't think so. So that was a problem. I'm just going to chop a bunch off here. I don't even know how big that is. It looks like about 8 inches. Let's see. Let's see if I guessed right. And even if it's not, it's got one end that be okay if it sticks out. Nope, I was wrong. I should have done. Let's try 7. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over here. Oh, excuse me, you guys. I'll make us all dizzy from flinging those things around. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these words and I'm going to lay them out on my paper. So I like Season's Greetings. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to lay them on my paper like this, where I want them. And so there's my Season's Greetings. Okay. And I'm going to be able to get several of these on here. So let's do another one that says Happy Holidays. Now if you had some little greetings that were all together, that would be perfect. These are actually going to take up a big chunk. Let's try to do this a little different. Let's move this here. So we've got, so our greeting strip doesn't have to be so wide, or so deep, I guess I should say. Good grief, this is more tedious than picking out where the paper stuff should go. I like the happy holidays because it kind of nestles in there together. Here, this winter wishes will be another good one. So we just have to make sure we can get it down under there so we're not running into each of the things, like from this one to the next one. I don't even know. I feel like I'm just blabbing. Does that even make any sense? Hey, Dina, how are you? Okay, so we've got that one. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, we've actually got another one. We've got Let It Snow and Merry Christmas. Let's see if we can get all of those on here. I'm not sure if we can or not, but we'll try. And then after these get stamped, they can just be sliced apart. Let's kind of center that one. I hope when I get these stamped on, and you know, I'm trying to line it up by where the words are, and I actually think some of them could have been bumped up a little closer because I'm looking at the actual the acrylic part, and these are some of the photopolymer stamps, I believe. They might be acrylic. And the difference is, in case you don't know, there's acrylic stamp. Rubber stamps are the best, but you can't see through them, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to stamp with them. Although there are ways to make sure that you get them right in the place that you want. So rubber stamps are the best, and then there are photopolymer stamps, and that kind is also really good. They're more expensive to produce. So if you see, if you think, well, that's really expensive for that, that's because if they're photopolymer, they are more expensive. And then there's acrylic stamps, and some of them are okay, and some of them don't stamp so great. So you just never know. You never know. But that's kind of the difference in what the stamps are. And then we've got a Merry Christmas. So we're able to fill this whole thing up. So once I get it on here and close my little door over there, I'm actually going to put this closer down here. But yeah, I don't know what there is about this kind of script font and the way it's got those flourishes, but I love them. I just love them. I want to make sure I've got plenty of, well, if I was smart, I may have to do a fair amount of cutting, but that's okay. They'll all be stamped. Oh my goodness, I touched it and messed it up. Don't breathe. No one breathe. Hold your breath. And so now what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to move it over here to the side into the corner, because that's going to be where my guide is. And then we're going to close the door. We're going to press it on there really good. And this is kind of how the Misty works too. Honestly, I have no idea where in the world that is. You have so many stamps. They do. I am getting ready to release some of mine. I'm going to have some of them when I do my next auction. Some of them have probably never been used, which is embarrassing to say. I mean, that's sad. But yeah, it's fun to have them. If you want them, if you need them, you guys, close to my heart have these. They had stamps, and it was before I had started with them. Now we're going to want to do a test with these because these have not been used. So you want to kind of season your stamps a little bit. And I've got this black, so we're going to do kind of a test first to make sure we've got our ink on. And well, actually, okay, I do this all the time. I just like take my skin and press it on here, and it kind of helps to get some of that any residue off of your stamps from the manufacturing process. Oops, I think I got one of these guys in the wrong spot. I got too carried away. Okay. And let's go ahead and let's ink some up here and then give it a twirl. Anyway, they had a set that was like for every month. Each month had a set. And I found those, and they weren't in like a current catalog. I don't know when they had come out. And I'm like, oh, that would be cool. Like if I ever decided to really de-stash, if I had one of those for each month, I could live with it. I'd be fine. So I kept adding to my stash. And so the last time that I started to, I thought, okay, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish out my set. I'm going to get the last ones. And they were completely gone. I'm like, oh, just so irritated. Okay, now the nice thing about this is if this was going to be our sheet that we were going to use, we just go ahead and we give it another stamp. And like I said, and you guys, a Misty is not cheap. I'm not going to tell you that it is, but they are well worth it in my opinion. So see, you keep your paper tucked up in here. And I mean, even if we were going to use this, we could just keep, we could just keep re-inking until we were happy with that. And I'll show you. Okay, so I bumped my paper out of the way. So these guys down here are needing some more ink. And sometimes I get it on my platform, but it's on the back, so it's not going to touch those. Oh, and I have a cool tool. Where is it? Well, I don't see it. Somebody's always taking it and making fun of it. There was a lady who made them, and basically it was like a knob on a little piece of wood. She used really pretty, like crystal looking things, and she started doing that. And I think a lot of the manufacturing places are doing something like that now. Okay, so see, I still have not gotten some of those. And so you would just still keep working that until you got it in there. And I don't know why I'm having trouble with those. I kind of wish I would not have put it so close to the edge. I think that's part of what my problem is. Boy. Wow, you guys, that is really, I don't usually have that much trouble. I think my ink, where my ink is hitting, I'm not getting it with the ink pad. I've got it too close. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's kind of line them up. This is so ridiculous. I can't believe I'm going to do this. I'm going to put these down again. And I'm going to move it over. I just can't believe I can't get in there to that area to ink those very well. I don't think I've ever had that happen. Of course, I would have it happen while I'm live, right? Okay. My goodness. Do you recommend lightly sanding the stamp surface? I never have. I've heard people... A finial. Yes, Molly, that is a great thing. Yeah, use the red paper in case it comes out great. Oh, that's exactly true, right? But no, Chris, I never have. I've never done that. I never have any problem with it. I just get the residue off and leave it at that, and it always works out fine. And if worse comes to worse, I can hand stamp these, you guys. I just thought it would be fun to do a whole bunch of them at once. Which, if we can get this to work, that will be great. Okay. Let's try again. You're right, though. Let's just go ahead and use the red one. Yeah, I wish I could find this, because this is a big area to try and get them all on. Okay. So let's use our red piece in here. Kind of line it up a little. It was about 1 inch from the edge. Well, you know what? I think... Is this one Christmas thing? Like clear off the paper? No, it'll fit. Those are close. A couple of them are very close. Okay. Let's give it a whirl, you guys. And then... Oh my goodness! My time is going to be up. I've been messing around here and completely... have used all my time. Now, you know, where's my magnet? And then you can actually use a magnet on here to hold your paper in place. You know, I'm just gonna have to go for it. Because I didn't leave a place for a magnet on here. So we'll give it a good rub. And if this doesn't work, I would just get out my other stamps and do it. Or not my stamps, my other platforms that I like to use. Let It Snow has got a problem. Not too bad. It's not as crisp as I would hope it would be. I'm not so sure there's not something wrong with that. Hope that Mary didn't get done either. I have never had that much trouble with some of those. Well, that is what it is for this episode. And so let's go ahead. Let's move on, you guys. Let's carry on. So now I would just start cutting these so that they can have a place to live. I know. Drum roll, right? Yes, Terry. Those kinds of things, they can be so wonderful, and they have saved so much in the way of stamps that weren't exactly stamped the best. But you know, did I even use the side I wanted? I hope so. But see, I wouldn't even mind going, if I could do all of those at once and then just go through here and, you know, cut them and trim them, I would be happy with that. I don't know why that one is so wonky though. but you could put them on here. And then on each one of them, you could just, you know, decide where you wanted to put it. If you wanted a little bit of, you know, something to stick out as well, there's all kinds of other things you could use. This would be pretty. Since it's got those little gold foil pieces already, I think a piece of this gold would be pretty on here too. Let me snip this open. I wish they would come up with some other way to close paper pads than these plasticky seals. You can get them off, and I mean they'll peel off and not ruin even the cover or anything, but I just get tired of them. Okay, let's use this one. Let me get this out. And look, there's a shiny too. But this had a good mix of some sparkle and shine. It was a good pad. Okay, so I know these were 4 inches, and let's see how big this is. And you know, since I know it was 4 inches, this is what I could do. I could make this really easy. And you know, all of these kinds of specialty papers, they cost more. And so if you're really wanting to get more bang for your buck, this is what I would do for this. I would just cut out, like, if I wanted it to be like about, you know, 1/8 of an inch, I just cut that at 3/8 of an inch and use a couple of those and just put it on each side. So there's always ways if you want to kind of make your stuff last. What did I even do with the one I was going to use? No, here's Merry Christmas. Let's use this one. And so all I would have to do is put a little on each edge and put that gold down. Put our little gold one on here, just to stick out that tiny bit. Got a 1/8 of an inch on that. Look how pretty that is. And the same down here. And just get it straightened up. And you know, if you certainly didn't care and you weren't, it'd be easier to just measure that and then just add a 1/4 inch so you could get it to stick out. But this'll give it a little pop. And then we'll glue this down. Oh no, you know what? I'll tell you what. Let's not just glue it straight down. Let's pop it up a little bit. Let's see, I've got some Well. Hang on 1 second. Let's get a couple of little things to pop it up. We'll just pop it up on the edges. And that'll give it a little bit of dimension. And it'll look so much better than just flat. But, oh, my time is almost done, you guys. But thanks for hanging out with me. And I'm so glad. It's so fun to know what, you know, Take 5 is continuing to grow and flourish. And no telling what we'll do in there. Right? I'm sorry I've had my head down so much, you guys. But, yeah, so you just, you know, on these, you just pull off your backing paper. I actually like to put a little bit of glue under those adhesive foams because they don't have the best track record of sticking. their adhesive kind of, you know, does its job for a while and then it doesn't. So if we put this on here and then just raise it up a tiny bit, and you know, anything always looks great if it's not right, you know, smack dab in the middle of something. Thirds are our friend. Thirds and uneven numbers. But there, we could do that. And there, that's the little bird under there. So we've got that. And we could put some, any kind of fun things. You could use some of these are the Nuvo Dream Drops. And they make little tiny dots as if they were kind of little, what am I trying to say? Like little enamel dots. Like you could just put that there and let that dry. Red is not really what color, I mean, gold is not what color that should be. But just kind of fun to put some goodies on there. And shimmer pins or whatever, shimmer pins are great. They add just a little bit of something, and it would be fun to put some of that like on the bird. Give him a little bit of something, a little bit of sparkle and shine. And even though you probably can't see that here, you know, somebody that was getting this for a card, you could do that. And it just adds just a little touch of something like that. So thank you so much, you guys. And I'll finish these up and take a picture of them, but I appreciate you being here. Thank you, guys. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Yeah, I love. Oh, yes, doesn't she, though? She has gorgeous stuff. You guys take care, and let's go see what Tanya's going to be up to. So Tanya with Tanya's Timeless, no, that's not even right. Timeless Treasures by Tanya. You guys, I am so glad that you came today. And let's all say happy anniversary to our friends over at Take 5. You guys, happy anniversary. Bye-bye.